No audio.
There is no audio. That's stupid. Anyways, but you can see what's going on. Okay, perfect. Now we see what's happening. This is some sort of defense equipment. It's called as a CIWS, close-in weapon system, whatever, right? What it's basically doing that during nighttime shooting, right? It's trying to shoot down like missiles and drones and whatever. And when it shoots, right? You see this little red traces of bullets.
Yes.
Okay, these are called as tracer rounds. There will be one tracer round after every 4 regular rounds. So what you see over here is basically every 5th round, there are 4 more rounds following every red round. Okay. Now these tracer rounds are particularly used. They were developed in World War I, World War II era, whatever. They are particularly used to see where the bullets are flying, right? If they are exactly meeting at the point where you want to shoot, or they are going all over the place, right? This is the purpose of tracer rounds. Now the same concept applies to us. I mean, we don't get to do all the cool stuff like these guys get to do, but we have to live with what we have. So the same concept applies to us here in business analysis. We have to establish a trace, right? Now, what we just did right now is we established the problem statements and the benefit statements. Okay, we are at this point of time that were given to us by 2 different lines of businesses. Okay, and as it goes with IT project management, okay, I need a better piece of hardware, believe me. But chalo, theek hai, we'll see. As it goes with IT project management, right? Each problem and benefit statement will convert into a high level requirement when we subject it towards the business analysis task. This is the core activity that we have to do. We are not there yet, right? But each problem and benefit statement will be converted into a high level requirement. That high level requirement will be converted into multiple functional level requirements. These functional level requirements will then have non-functional requirements for themselves. Then this will have the user interface design for themselves. Then this will have the system requirements for themselves, right? Then they are going to have development tasks for them, and then they are going to have test cases, and then the final deployment. Okay, this is the complete process. Now, our job basically as a BA will usually end when the functional level requirements are gathered. We only play role in certain capacity when these activities are going on. Right? We'll cover IT project management in a different session. So one high level requirement can have multiple functional level requirements. One functional level requirement can have multiple non-functional requirements, can have multiple user interface requirements, can have multiple system level requirements. Each of these tasks will have their own development task, will have their own, each development task or whatnot can have multiple test cases, right? So if you look at one single problem, tracing to one single benefit, tracing to one single high level requirement, tracing to one single functional level requirement, tracing to one single business use case step, tracing to system level requirement, tracing to user interface, right? Tracing to development task, tracing to test case, tracing to deployment. हर एक के लिए ये करना पड़ेगा. This is the complete process, right? Our job basically will stop roughly at about this point. Now, here is where the business systems analyst and the user interface designer will come into play. Here is where the developers will come into play. Here is where the testers will come into play, right? So when we give somebody one problem, one benefit, its corresponding high level, functional level, and business use case, there are a lot of activities happening, right? So it's basically, we've created a baby, we have nurtured it properly, we have elicited it properly, and then we are handing over that baby to somebody else to take care of it. Then that somebody's handing over to somebody else to take care of it. Then the process repeats all the way till it's deployed. The requirement is deployed, right? And that requirement goes through different hands, different activities, and whatnot. So it is important for us to trace that what exactly happened with this particular requirement. Where is it right now? Who is it with? What's going on with it? Right? Has it been deployed or not? Because we talk about one single requirement in any project that you pick, right? For example, you are going to have you have what, 4 problems and roughly 5 benefits in this case. I guarantee you are going to have 25 plus high level requirements as a part of this project. And this 25 plus high level requirements are going to have at least, if I, put a fair number, at least 50 function level requirements. And this 50 functional level requirements will be then, connected in different user flows through a business use case document. Will have their own user interface designs and will have their own blah blah blah, whatever, right? So when you're dealing with such a number of requirements, it is important to trace कि भाई क्या हो रहा है, what's going on with a particular requirement. So this requirements tracing starts all the way from the point of origination, which is the problem statement, and it goes as a practice, as a manual activity, all the way to deployment. Okay. And the purpose of the trace is to gain a clear line of sight from the point of origination to the point of destination, which is deployment, for every single requirement out there. That is requirements traceability, right? Now, how do we do traceability? The first step of ensuring traceability is to mention a trace. Where did this particular benefit come from? It originated from problem statement number 1. Where did this problem statement come from? That was given to us by our stakeholders or whoever, or whatever research led to us formulating these problem statements. So problem statements will be the start of tracing. And for every artifact that we do, the key business benefits, the business in scope, we are going to ensure that we mention the trace where this